inspire and inform you endlessly, with knowledge to guide, uplift and grow. Thank you for joining, it's a journey, let's go. To all the new subscribers, welcome aboard. We're so glad you're here, there's so much in store. Returning friends, thank you once again. Together we'll learn and share the game. From wisdom to insight, each video's a gift, helping you rise, giving your spirit a lift. So hit that subscribe, stay tuned to see all the great things on Dr. Bummy Able TV. To all the new subscribers, welcome aboard. We're so glad you're here, there's so much in store. Returning friends, thank you once again. Together we'll learn and share the game. To all the new subscribers, welcome aboard. We're so glad you're here, there's so much in store. Returning friends, thank you once again. Together we'll learn and share the game. Dr. Bummy Able TV here for you. Inspire, educate, inform. That's what we do. Thanks for being part of this growing family. Let's keep shining together in unity.
Hello, 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 and hello again. Thank you very much for joining in. We are glad you are waiting for us. Thank you so much. We are ready for you. Actually, we were born ready. We've been waiting ever since. And I'm so sorry for the change of time. I forgot to actually mention that, there's a change of time in the UK. And so we'll start from the UK, it's going to be 7:30. But from Nigeria, the western parts of the world, and it will, well, not western part, sorry, in the WAT, what do you call that now? West African time. Yes, it's going to be 8:30. But I don't know why it is in the EST, the American time. So please forgive me. Search it out, Google it out. I'm sure Google will tell you. So thank you very much again for joining in. Thank you to those who have joined us. We have the emotional roller coaster during perimenopause, menopause. I don't know if it happens during postmenopause, but there you go. We'll hear all the answers today. So thank you. Queen Yinka is here, and Queen Tara is also here. So thank you very much. Also, I have, thank you very much, Queen Kumbi, for also coming in. You're saying hello to everyone. Thank you. So we will start off. We're featuring Coach Tuski. She's been here earlier, but I had to tell her, please go and carry on with what you're doing now. You'll come back later. And so, because she was just coming from an event, and we thought, let's start off first. Without further ado, thank you very much for coming. Please like, comment, share, whatever it is you need to do. Remind people, just send to others and tell them we're on YouTube, we're live. First question, Queen. Can you see the question? Yes. So the first question is, how does menopause impact mental health, particularly in terms of anxiety, depression, and mood swings? Over to you, Queen Tara.
Thank you for having me. Menopause affects mental health. There's no doubt about it. And for anyone that's been into menopause or that's had, whether they started the journey and is on the journey, the first thing you wonder is, what's wrong with me? Mm-hmm. You're like, you become irritable sometimes, you become all the things that you will have taken before. You just feel like, your mood swings. You have mood swings, and it's basically, from science, it's basically because of fluctuating hormonal levels, so particularly estrogen and progesterone, and that can lead to your mood being unstable. Yeah. So menopause does bring about and affect, mental health in terms of mood swings, because you find you've all of a sudden get irritable, you're quick to anger, you're quick to, and maybe it's because of the way your body feels. You really tell out or play out the physical effect on your body in your emotions. So, for example, if you have a hot flush, for example, you're very hot, you're just irritable, you want to get, you want to get into a cool place, or you want to get out of your clothes, and anybody talking to you, you just don't even want to listen to whatever they have to say. So it's because, but once the pressure goes down and you feel better, then you say, okay, yeah, what were you saying? And then you feel to yourself, why did you go that way? But sometimes you just can't help it. So yes, with it affects your mental health with mood swing, with depression. A lot of women, especially when it's on the onset and when you don't really know what's going on in your body, you find out that you're very anxious. I said the last time I was here that a lady went, my friend's elder sister actually, just told her one day, there's something wrong with me. I don't know what it is, but there's something wrong with me. And so they went to the doctor and they ran all the tests and nothing. And then the doctor now asked her again, okay, how old did you say you were? She said her age, she was over 50 then, and said, have you considered menopause? And she said, as soon as the doctor said all menopause, everything, her body just came down. So when you don't know what's wrong with you, you're anxious, you know that there's something wrong with you, but you can't put a finger and say this is what is wrong with it. And with Dr. Google, you would Google all the symptoms, and then you're so scared, and could this be, because the symptoms, fall across so many diseases. You have the sleeplessness, you have the palpitations, you have, the hot flashes, just that feeling of unwellness. So definitely, it affects one's mental health, especially when you don't know what is happening to you. But once you have a hang on what is happening to you and you understand that, this is common to every woman, most women feel this, then you feel a bit better. But for some people, I have a friend that she's out, she's a party planner. And so, party planners are very out, but when a time just came for like 6 months, she wasn't going out. She wasn't doing anything. And she fell into a very depressive moment. Thankfully, she's gone out of it. But it just shows how menopause can affect your mental health, when you just say, you know what, I don't even care about any other person. I don't care about work. I don't care about everybody. Should just leave me. You just want to be alone, and it does affect. So, and also for I've talked about anxiety, depression, and mood swings. So it does affect sleep too. It affects sleep. Insomnia. A lot of women can't sleep properly, and when you can't sleep properly, it does affect your mental health. And of course, there's so many others, but that's what you've asked. So let me go.
Okay, thank you. You've answered the second question about the most common emotional and psychological symptoms women experience during menopause. Do you have anything to add to it before we move on, Pinyinka? No. Okay, so I'll just
Psychological. The
yes.
first thing that affects the woman is how you feel, your body. You're gaining weight most times. A lot of women, that hits us psychologically. Your hair sometimes is falling off. Skin issues, and so your self-esteem really comes to bear when it comes to psychological effects of menopause, because, and also social, like I said about my friend, you just don't want to go anywhere. You feel, because of the middle age spread and the difficulty in losing weight, you're ugly all of a sudden. You just look at yourself and say, I'm ugly, I don't want to go. So that affects, psychologically, on especially our self-esteem. And I think that's why most women don't want to grow old.
Sure. Thank you very much. So it really does affect us in a different way. And that takes me to my next question. Can menopause-related mood swings or emotional changes be mistaken for other mental health conditions?
I'm not a mental health practitioner, but yes, it can be, because it's basically hormonal, because of the hormonal changes in the body, and the fluctuations that occur. And like I said, the symptoms are very much like other diseases and things like that. So
Yeah.
yes, depression and mood swings, depression is a prolonged feeling of sadness,
Yeah.
but mood swings is,
You're high today, you're low
you're high
tomorrow.
today, you're low today. So it could be mistaken for bipolar, for example.
You're
you
right. Yeah,
you know
sure.
when your mood swings, you're like, nobody knows what they're going to come and meet when they come and meet you. They don't know whether it's sunny, it's like the British weather. Today is the sunny, one minute
Unpredictable.
it's rainy, and nobody can really say. So that, irritability, mood wings, you can liken it to bipolar. Then the mood changes, you can liken to depression. So, but if you're persistent, so those things would come. But if it's persistent, if it's long drawn out, then people will say, okay, this is more than menopause. This might be, depression. And of course, anxiety. That people have panic attacks, and so
Yeah.
anxiety, the fact that you're not in control of your situation, or even your person, can be likened to other disorders, anxiety disorders or panic. Anxiety can be likened to panic attacks. Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, it can be mistaken
Mistake.
for other mental health conditions.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true. True. Thank
Even
you.
by medical practitioners. Yeah.
Yes, yes, because all they will do is run a test on this and that, and that's why
No.
one of was it yeah, Queen Helen last week. She said one of her major ones was she actually, when she started forgetting things and it was really really so bad, she had to go to the GP to say, I think I have dementia. So I think I've got dementia here, and they ran all the tests and said, well, no, it's menopause. So it could actually be mistaken, even when the doctors tell you, be like, no, I know myself, it's I'm not myself, I'm a shadow of myself, da da da. And yeah, hallucinations, and I don't know if that comes up, because if you've not been sleeping due to insomnia, you just are seeing things that are not there. I know. So it's possible, but like we say, see your GP. And that takes me to my next question, Queen Yinka. How important is it for women to seek support for mental health issues during menopause?
Right. I think you've mentioned the first one. See your GP. See your GP. And like Quintara said, it can be mistaken, or menopausal symptom can be mistaken for other mental health issues. But with time, like you said, if it's prolonged, then they know that it's not menopausal, and if it's not, anyway. So I mean, one of the common things I've found is that women didn't prescribe antidepressant because they thought, oh yeah, she's having depression, so it must be.
Mm.
And I'm speaking from personal experience, by the way. So, oh, right. So my question about how important is it to seek support? Well, it provides you the emotional support. So, if, for example, we're here today talking about menopause, which we've been doing for some time, and well done, Dr. Bumi and everybody else. So, we're offering education to women so that they know what to expect or to understand what they're going through. So, there's that support there, which, yes, we can count that as a professional support too, because some of us here, we are practitioners in our own fields. So also the fact that when you're able to talk about what you're going through, like our WhatsApp group, which is growing with so many people joining every day, and somebody, like the story of Coach, is it Tuxi or yes,
Yeah.
sharing that and other people seeing that and reading that, that's education on its own, and it validates you saying, listen, I'm not the only one going through this, so it's okay. Because when we don't have that support, we feel isolated. You feel
Yeah.
it's just me, you know. I've heard a story about a friend of a friend who was having this crawling sensation all over her, thinking it was, village people, whereas it was the menopause that she was, you know, hearing it now is funny, but then
Yes.
it wasn't funny going through what she was going through. So if she had that support of, this type of education, having maybe like a menopause, support group, then that offers her the education, also offer her the peer support as well. So it's vitally important to have that, because it gives you coping strategies. Like you get the education, like I said, you get coping strategies. and improve relationship, because you know that this is not just you. I say something that menopause is not just a woman's issue, it's a family issue, it's an organizational issue, as well as a societal issue. So we all need to be informed.
Yes.
When we're informed, then we know what to expect. And of course, the people in our lives are able to support us when they know what's going on.
True, true. Thank you very much. You're right there. So it is so important. We can't stretch it enough. We can't overemphasize it that it's important to seek support, because it could, like we said, all these things could be mistaken. It might actually be a mental health thing. Working together with menopause, and I think one of it was Queen, who said it, Queen Kafilat. Yes, it was Queen Kafilat. I think, yeah, shout out to her. Thank you. She says, yeah, she's here as well. Well, she was once saying that, all these symptoms could actually mask as other stuff, because there are some underlying health conditions. So we shouldn't just take it for granted and pin it all to menopause, menopause, menopause. Let's find out from the specialists and run through all the tests so we can know exactly what's happening to us. So thank you very much. It is very important to have those supports, and support from peers, support from family, because you can't overemphasize that. Except you're living on your own. But even if you're living on your own, you've got work to go to, you have people you deal with. You go to the supermarket, you go, so that nobody's a hermit. Well, maybe there are, but I mean, you always have people around. You could step on toes, and you could. So we need people to support us. We need to support others as well. And when we've gone through it, we should be that beacon of light and hope to them. So thank you for that question. It takes me to my next one. What lifestyle changes or practice can help women manage emotional changes during menopause or perimenopause?
That's for me, right?
Yes, it is, Queen Yinka.
Okay. Right. I mean, simple. So I go with the acronym MENOSTAT, right? And that includes things like your mindset. What is your mindset when it comes to this stage of life? Because it's been found that with some studies that in communities that accept this as, in quotes, a way of a woman going to maturity, it appears that they have less of the symptoms that a woman that sees it as, oh, this is hell. So again, so this is where the mind comes into play. So that's one aspect of it. So when you hear the word menopause, it conjures a lot of emotions for so many people, and that's again based on perhaps the experience of people before what we've heard. I remember a few years ago I had this auntie, and she was she had hot flushes, and I used to say to her, "Oh, I am looking forward to the menopause," and she would go like, "Don't look forward to the menopause, please." But
I
I
really was
understand now.
menopause.
You see, so with that kind of experience, so to speak, it can fill you with trepidation, and you're thinking, oh my goodness, this is I mean, because I have three girls, right? So they know a lot about menopause, and you hear one of them saying, I don't want to go through the menopause. Oh my goodness, all these symptoms that you're telling women about. But hey, we need to change the mindset, and because we're having this kind of conversation, that I'm hoping will help change the mindset, so that we can, as women coming behind us, and for us going through it as well, we can make those changes. Now, secondly, we look at exercise, making sure that we're moving, adequate kind of exercise, not too much, not too little, finding that sweet balance, right? Nutrition plays a huge role in managing our menopausal symptoms. So we want to make sure our food, is as colorful as possible. Our plate is always looking colorful, so that we're getting all those vital nutrients at each meal. Eating our heaviest meal earlier on in the day, like I said the last time, eating like a queen. They say like king in the morning, I say like a queen, right? And in the afternoon, like a princess, and at night, eating like a peasant, right? Or you can have nothing or very, very light dinner, because what you're doing in effect is giving your body a chance to do all the things that it needs to do at night without having to focus all the energy it needs to digestion. All right.
Yes.
I know with the type of lifestyle many of us have, dinner time is, it's family time, then we eat heavy. But let's try and change that just this time, so we can, just breeze through this phase of life. Yeah.
Mm.
And also I mentioned, about going for walks. That's very important as well. So you're also getting the vitamin D when you're going out for walks. Not when the sun is really high up there, but at a safe time to do that. Um, when we talk about managing it, we're also looking at our hydration, making sure we're drinking enough water. We're recommended at least 8 glasses of water per day. So I say something, and you, I'll probably get someone that will tell me no, it's not. If it's colored, it's not water.
Mm.
But some people can't really take water. But hey, that's another topic for another day. But just making sure we're drinking enough water throughout the day. We talk about support. That's also important, making sure you have that support in place. Is it a friend? Is it a family member? Is it a work colleague? Someone you can talk to, someone that can keep you accountable. Maybe you have your exercise regime, somebody you say, okay, this is what I'm doing. Be accountable to that person. Sleep. We mentioned, Quintara mentioned about sleep earlier. Vitally important. So these are some of the things that we need to put in place to
Yeah.
help us to bridge the menopause, to manage these symptoms, so that we can be good through menopause. It doesn't have to be hell.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So let's also just put all those things in place to help us.
I was even thinking, just as you were mentioning exercise, I thought maybe the last bit of the program should be we doing some exercise. Oh my
Bring it on.
because I know that's your thing. Yes, let's do some. Let's know the kind of exercise because when you go online, you see so many. Some could be too much. Some could be too little. What are those exercises? So maybe I'm not sure if it's one of the topics, but we'll
I think
see
it
how we
is.
can put that in and let's do
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great. Yeah, so people can know what kind of exercises to do. All right. Thank you very much, Queen Yinka. The next question actually goes to you as well. And that is how can women talk to their partners, family, or friends about the emotional changes they are facing during their menopause, premenopause stage?
Be open. Have
How?
a family meeting.
Okay, a
So
family meeting.
I did that. We
Mhm.
yeah, I called a family meeting. We have to talk. So it's educating them as well that this is what is going on.
Yeah.
This is how I'm feeling. Okay, my little somebody, one of my children want to hug me, and I'm having a hot flush. Like when Tara said, it's like, don't touch. But now they're not.
Yes.
Oh, mommy's hot. I still got it. They know what that means because we've had that conversation. As in, this is what's going on. So let's not hug at this very time. So we need to talk and help your family to understand this is what I'm going through. This is menopause. This is what is happening. All right.
Mm.
So that if they understand, again, like we're talking about being informed, when we're informed, we can make better, choices. Then they can support us as well. So
Yes.
there's that openness about it. There's that, educating them about what the menopause is, what are some of the symptoms of the menopause, and ask them for support. All right, so mom is feeling like this. Even evening time, she's really feeling tired. Guess what you're going to have to do today? Today is your day to cook. Today is your day to go to the. Honestly, you want a better mom, you want a better wife, you need to support me through this stage of life so that we can all come out at the end better.
Yes.
So that's just a simple, simple as have a family meeting and let's educate our family about what is going on so they can support us.
True, true. Thank you very much for that answer. So we just need to make it open, no hiding, no painting it in a way that they wouldn't understand. Just there, say it out there. It's something everyone needs to know about. Even the boys, the girls, the men.
One.
This program is not just for the women; it's also for the men to know how to help the women when it's time. And thank you very much for that question, for that answer. We have about three more questions, but before we do those three questions, I'd like to put on. I'd like us to take a break, and that break is drinking our water. Because we definitely need to pause and drink water. So while we're drinking water, there's a 4-minute video of someone who's experienced it. I'm sure if you're on any of the menopause platforms, you would have seen her. Long, very long story. I had to just do half of it and show it. She's not here. I'm sure she'll be joining us very soon. I had to just do half of the story. So hopefully we would hear a bit of what it means to have an emotional roller coaster during menopause. And I will put it on the screen right away. Just We'll be right back. So if you haven't invited somebody, please invite somebody to come on. If you've not subscribed, if you've not commented, it's your time to comment. And let's listen to this together while I bring this up. 1 minute. Thank you.
Welcome to Dr. Bummy Able TV, where we inspire and inform you endlessly with knowledge to guide, uplift, and grow. Thank you for joining, it's a journey, let's go. To all the new subscribers, welcome aboard. We're so glad you're here, there's so much in store. Returning friends, thank you once again. Together we'll learn and share the game. From wisdom to...
Okay, so let's listen.
My menopausal story and journey. Husbands can read too. It will help you to understand your wife better during those seasons of life and help you know what to do too. Let me share with you my menopause experience and journey. What happened to me, why they happened, and how to control them. As you read, you will understand the meaning of those pictures. Let me also say ahead that not every menopausal woman experiences all that happened to me. Some may not even have any of those symptoms except 1 or 2. So it's not compulsory you have all of them. Menopause showed me I thought I will die. Let me explain. Firstly, what is menopause? Menopause is that natural part of biological aging that occurs in women between the ages of 45 and 55. Menopause is caused by the loss of ovarian follicular function and a decline in circulating blood estrogen levels. The menopausal transition can be gradual, usually beginning with changes in the menstrual cycle. This is when at that of 40 upwards your menstrual cycle begins to fluctuate. It's called premenopause. Mine started very early. By my 40th birthday I was already in full menopause. And the first set of signs I started having was this terrible fatigue, this weakness from inside as if there was no strength in me. Me a tutu that is normally full of energy. I can do 10 things together, who born them, you can't stop me. But suddenly to get up in the morning became an issue. I will be having this heat from inside. I naturally sweat, but this one will be like I was put in oven. During Harmattan, everyone is shivering. But I must put on the fan overnight. Below are all that I experienced within the first 5 to 6 years of menopause. 1. Severe hot flashes, heat from inside out. 2. Fainting spells. I will be preaching in church and my eyes will go dark. People will not know why I'm holding the altar. They will think it's anointing. 3. Severe headache from morning till night. I had this headache every day for 2 years. 4. Insomnia. I just wouldn't be able to sleep. 5. Sleep apnea. I'll just stop breathing while sleeping and so jerk up gasping for breath. 6. Loss of appetite and inability to decide what to eat. 7. Unexplainable weight gain, especially around the midriff. I wasn't eating, yet my tummy was getting bigger. 8. Forgetting things. In fact, I frustrated the children with this one, because I could even forget that I was holding the car keys. 9. Vertigo. I am lying down yet the whole room is spinning. 10. Severe, almost paralyzing weakness and tiredness. To get up in the morning was a big issue. Me, a tutu was getting to church late. It is well 11. Severe pains in all my joints, knees, ankles, wrists, shoulders, neck, waist, hips. That picture of my 2 knees was the one I took at a time, when suddenly one of my knees swelled up becoming twice the size of the other, and I couldn't leave the house for 4 days. 12. Vagina dryness, so I couldn't have sex without lubricant. In fact, there was a time I couldn't have sex at all. I just was not interested. 13. Intermittent moodiness and lethargy. Loss of interest in everything generally. 14. My beautiful nails just started getting weak and brittle, they were crumbling and breaking. But thank God, they are back now. That's them in that picture. Full, strong and long again. The first 6 years was traumatic for me. I can't even explain how I was able to go through all that and still meet up with all my schedules and meetings and counseling and invitations. There were times, by the time I get home from my meetings and preaching engagement, I will be in so much pain, I wouldn't be able to get out of the car. There were times my knees will just lock up all by themselves, I wouldn't be able to bend them.
I can't hear you. I can't hear you, ma. I think
Yes, this
yes.
is the AI. That was the AI version of the real person here. So this is the real person. Our coach Tuski. Let me bring up the others so that they can see. Put a face to the name. Oops, where is it now? Oops. Yes, there we go. So we're all here now. So there we go. This is our lady coach Tuski, the one we've just
Good
listened
evening.
half of our story.
I'm so happy to be with you. Good evening, Mas. Thank you for having me.
Okay,
Welcome.
so could you please give us a summary of what we've just heard on AI? Maybe it's actually computer generated falsehood. Could you tell us?
No,
Because I saw you smiling behind the screen.
well, that was what happened, and I think what was most traumatic for me was the emotional trauma I had because nobody prepared me, and I think that's one of the greatest challenge that we have with menopause and women. Nobody prepared me. So I was fully convinced I had a terminal sickness. I was sure I couldn't die because I'm a child of God. I believed him. But I really wanted to know the name of the disease that I have. At least if I know what is going on with me, I will know how to approach it. But nobody could tell me anything. And I just entered into it. Yesterday, I was okay. And then the next day, just after my 48th birthday, everything just changed. You get it. I will get tired. Naturally, I'm a very energetic person. Even till now, I still am. But I just realized that just walking from here to the front door, I will be so tired. I will be sweating from inside out. Everybody is complaining of cold. I will be saying that I am hot, and I'll be feeling this heat radiating inside of me out. Do you get it? I will wake up in the morning. But there are some times when I wake up in the morning till now. If I want to sleep and I don't want to have too much pain on my knees, I need to put a pillow in between my knees. Because if I allow those two bones to stay together like that overnight, if I wake up in the morning, then it was so bad, it will have locked in that position. So I will not be able to stretch it. So I will actually stand up from the bed like somebody who is mildly paralyzed. Do you get it? When under normal circumstances, when I wake up in the morning, I don't, when people say that they are booting, when I wake up, I don't boot. There's something to boot. I wake up bright and shine and I face the day. I jump up on the bed and I face my day. But this time around, I will first turn to the side, wait a little bit, allow the knees to stretch, allow the pains to reduce, and then get up. And I'm like, what is going on with me? I remember clearly that for about 1.5 to 2 years, every single day, I was having a headache. And they would check my BP, it would be normal. My husband is a medical doctor. It would be normal, but this headache would, and then I will also observe that sometimes the magnitude of the pain will go along with how much of my voice I am raising. So if I raise my voice too much, or I allow myself to get angry, or I get agitated about anything, hey, to just come, yee, yee, yee. You understand? As if the head wants to break into two. I went to my husband, I said, look, I'm not afraid of death, but in case I have a brain tumor, let's do CT scan so that they will know what is going on, and then I know exactly what to face. My husband will say, Ebu, it's age, nothing is wrong with you. But because it's my husband, and my husband is a very phlegmatic person, he never gets worried about anything. So I felt that as usual, He believes everything is fine. But me that owns my body knows that something was really wrong. Do you get it? I remember then one of the reasons, naturally I get to church early, but my church members didn't know that one of the reasons why I get to church like 20 minutes before everybody was that the auditorium we were using in my own branch was upstairs. There's a staircase. The way I climb staircase, if I were to do that when church members were around, they would become afraid. So I get to church like 20, 25 minutes before time so that I will climb the staircase, gradually, so that nobody will know that that is how I climb the staircase. It affected my prayer life a little bit because for many years of my life, I'm used to, when want to have my personal altar, there's a particular place I pray. So I go there, I kneel down, and I pray. But for 1.5 years, I couldn't kneel. And the reason why I couldn't kneel was because if I kneel down, somebody will have to come and carry me up because I will not be able to stand by myself. The knee will just stay like that. You understand? I was having vertigo. Dizziness is if you are standing and then you are vertigo. Even if you close your eyes and you lie down, the room will be spinning like this. You understand? I had this sleep apnea. The sleep apnea, I had to go and read up on it because I was afraid that why is it that when I sleep, I will just wake up gasping. I will have stopped breathing without knowing. And then I will jack up and I'll begin to gasp for breath. And I'm like, why am I not breathing? Who is seizing my... I thought it was spiritual. I started binding and loosing and rebuking the devil. And I realized that nothing was happening. I kept asking, having the apnea. And then after a while, I would not even be able to sleep at all. And then my tummy was getting bigger. And I don't eat. So I was wondering, everything was just... It was traumatic. And I will not lie. Before my sister waded into it was my sister that eventually helped me. You get it? Before then, I was almost going into depression. Because,
sister.
yes, I didn't know. I didn't know what was wrong with me. Everything about my life was upside down. Until eventually I had to just speak out. So I called my elder sister and I told her, I said, something is wrong with me. In case anything happens, so that you will know that these are the things. And I told my elder sister all those things. And she busted into laughter. And she said, my elder sister is 5 years older than me. She said, the devil is not after you. You are getting old. And by the time she finished explaining everything, the first thing that happened to me was a burden lifted for my spirit. I mean, the way a person that has been in bondage for long will feel when they throw the prison door open. That was how my heart became like, okay, so nothing is wrong with me. I'm just getting older and I need to just begin to do some things. Do you get it? So it was then I changed my diet. Then when she was talking to me, so I realized that the kind of life that I lived before entering into menopause caused a lot of issues. For example, what was causing my headache? It was my sister that told me too. All through my years, I don't sleep for more than 4 hours per day. If I sleep 4 hours per day, that's a whole lot. Between 3.5, 4. Most of the time, I don't sleep till around 11:30, 12. And by the time it is 3:30, I'm up. The kind of work that I do makes me to do a lot of reading. I have clients all over the world, the time difference, and stuff like that. Sometimes I counsel 2 a.m., 3 a.m., depending. So I'm used to that. I didn't know that age is not going to tolerate me not resting. I didn't understand the meaning of rest. It was an alien concept for me. I love working. So my sister had to tell me that there's no tumor in your brain. Don't have anything less than 6 to 7 hours sleep per day. And I realized that the moment I started having about 6 hours, 6.5 hours sleep per day, I didn't use any drug. The headache just went. Also, I had a bad habit of not taking water. I can go a whole day without taking water. I eat without drinking water. I can eat, finish my food, and go without drinking water. Do you get it? I didn't know how important water is to the body. So she was the one that told me that, yes, I remember Mine got to a point, I had kidney stones because of the lack of water. Do you get it? Since I wasn't taking enough water, I just woke up that night. I went to use the toilet. Yes, I went to use. I went to urinate myself in the middle of the night. I didn't know that some of the stones has been dislodged. So it started traveling through the urethra, and it was as if a machine was being grinded inside me. And I was vomiting. Was around 2 a.m. I was rolling on the floor. As I noticed that my husband was calm, he was not agitated as if something serious was going on. He knew that a kidney stone has been dislodged. So he just held me and said, "It will soon pass." I was saying, "What will soon pass? What is happening that is that is passing?" Until I realized that. So that day, as from that day on, I take an average of 3 liters of water per day. I space it. So I have that big cup that is, and I space it like that. It affected my sex. There was a time we suspended sex for about 3 months, if I'm not mistaken. And that's why, if you read the article, I normally tell people that it's so good for you to have a good family, to have an understanding husband, to have good children. You understand? My kids helped me so much, especially my first son. They were always on me to make sure that I rest. They try as much as possible to cut off unnecessary stress for me. When I was forgetful, there are times that I will be holding the car key. Then I'll be telling them to look for the car key all over the house. And the poor children will scatter everywhere. And then one of them will say, "Mommy, it's in your hand." And I'll feel so bad. And I will apologize that I'm sorry. Because sometimes I will have stamped on them. "I keep telling you, don't be taking my things. Don't take my things without telling me. I don't like an organized life." And then they will have scatter everywhere. Definitely they will realize that it's in my hand, or actually put it in my pocket. There are times I was forgetting I had to get a PA. I was forgetting my itinerary. You understand? I will have preaching engagements. It is the day before when the PA of that person contacts me, then I will say, "Did I say I was coming?" And they're like, "Ma, we told you 2 months ago." How can you say?
Oh my.
So after a while, when it was affecting my sex life, because I wasn't used to pain. As of then, we were already married for about 20 years, 19 to 20 years. I wasn't used to pain. All of a sudden, the pain was excruciating. It would be as if I was being lacerated. So I had to get KY jelly, get other lubricants. After a while, my husband even told me that, "Look, for the next 3 months, let's leave sex. First, get yourself back, become strong." You understand? After that, and my mind was more settled, and I started using all these things. I take a tablet of this per day. I don't like drugs. So even my husband was convincing me that, "Look, you need all these multivitamins and supplements." I don't have the time to take enough food that I need, or to take enough of the vegetables and stuff like that. So he said, "Look, if you have the time to take these things, fine. But since you don't have the time to take them, let's get things that they have already been packed into it." So he got the Menopause original for me. It's quite expensive, but I have seen the difference. You understand? I rest a lot. I take enough. Then all these our antioxidants, all these chia seeds, sesame seeds, black seeds. You understand? I take a lot of chia seeds. If you get to my dining table now, there's a whole bottle that is there. I just pour them in water and drink it. I take lemon. If one can also afford this pomegranate, it's quite expensive here, but it's a very powerful antioxidant. You can also take them ahead. When I eat watermelon, I normally eat the white part with it, not just the red part. I take that white part with it also. So it started when I was 40. I'm 48. I'll be 49 in about 4 months' time. It's in the last 2 years I have balanced out. It's not as bad as then. You understand? The joint pain are still there. As in, they don't come except I stress myself. If I really stress myself, I will feel the joint pains. They will come. Then also exercises help. All these aerobics, they help. and then you are forced to stretch your hand, stretch your legs, and stuff like that. Then I also realized that if for those of us that have the issue of the tummy, you get it. If you can discipline yourself to not to take dinner, or if you are taking dinner, maybe just fruits or vegetables, something very, very light. Do you get it? And then you take a lot of water. After a while, the tummy will begin to, calm down, especially when you are not bloated. Then I also realize that certain food makes me bloated, like granite. If I take granite, it would be as if they poured water and oil inside my tummy, and I'm pregnant again. And it can be like that for the next 2 days. And I love granite, but I had to stop it because it really started giving me a lot of issues. The only thing that didn't happen to me that some women have is hair loss. I didn't experience hair loss. I just cut my hair. My hair is as long as the middle of my back, naturally. But the reason why I cut it was just that I got tired of staying long at the salon, and then I just became tired of it.
I say
Yes,
everyone here except
you
me.
can see, yes. And
Everyone
then
here is on menopause.
then I realized that I totally lost the desire to explain myself to anybody. If your wahala become too much like this, control delete. Before you stress me, I have deleted you. So no explanation. I do not owe you any explanation. If you don't like it, if you like it, it's your business. I'm not ready for anybody to stress.
I'm dealing with enough already.
I'm telling you, I just realized that I developed complete lack of patience for any form of stress or nonsense. Once I notice that somebody is stressing me like this, I have just packed the person to one corner.
Oh my.
You
Thank you
understand?
very much.
Thank
It's so
you.
nice hearing you live and direct. I know you're a very,
Yeah,
very busy lady, and you've, given us this part of your time to
thank
speak. So
you.
thank you very much. We appreciate you.
It's my
Anyone
pleasure.
has anything to say to her? I know, Queen Yinka, you were saying there that menopause is a biological gateway to our aging, which
Yeah,
is true. So, does
very
anybody
true.
have any questions? Because these are
Very
ones that
true.
have actually read it from beginning to the end and making comments. So, over to you. Yes. Any questions before we let her go? Queen Yinka, Queen Tara, any questions?
Oh, I thought you were waiting on the audience to post their questions.
Yeah,
No.
and audience, if you have any questions, this is someone who has had
Oh,
99% of all the symptoms we're talking about here.
absolutely. I just had similarly. I just had an event just before coming on, and
Okay.
I told them, I said I came to be educated today, and this is what she's done here today as well, telling us
Thank you.
all, pretty much what you've gone through, and it's a pleasure meeting you,
To
virtually,
meet you tomorrow.
from reading your text and seeing you almost face to face virtually. I mean,
Thank you.
it's fine. Yeah, and it's true. I'm looking and she's talking. I'm like, well, I haven't got anything else to say because she's pretty much
So,
and she's done pretty much what I can say. But all people will continue to do, But and just to add to say that your story is encouraging. Just like I always say, this has a beginning and it will also come to an end. And
Yeah.
seeing someone like you that has gone through the storm really of menopause and coming out at this stage, and you're saying, the pain, all this is gone and that is gone. It's wonderful. It's wonderful. And thank you so much, for coming to
It's my pleasure.
share your story with us. We appreciate
Thank you.
appreciate
Thank you
it.
so much for having me. Thank you. I'm so excited to meet you all.
yeah,
Thank you.
thank you. There's
Thank
one question from Slido. Someone
Okay.
says, good evening, ma'am. How long does this perimenopause last? The
Last.
heat flashes, persistent brain fog, and exhaustion is overwhelming.
you.
So,
Oh.
in your experience, what do you think? How long?
Well, let me first say I'm sending a virtual hug. I can imagine how you are feeling. It could be so frustrating, and I'm sorry for what you are going through. But I've discovered that it varies from one person to another. Do you get it? Mine lasted for about 6 to 7 years. But I suspect strongly that it lasted that long and was that severe because I had not developed certain habits before I entered menopause. How I know is that my pastor's wife, my mother in the Lord, is around, you get it. But Pastor D's own is not as severe as mine because the two of us talk. But I observed that for many years, Pastor D, I have since known her, she has been taking chia seeds since she was in her, middle 30s, late 30s. She has been taking, yes, chia seeds. She takes a lot of water. She does exercises. You understand? I know I'm choleric. Most cholerics are big, big, big. She's a phlegmel, just like my husband. So from beginning, she has always taken her life very calm. She doesn't stress herself. So I think that you can reduce the length. Most of the time, it shouldn't last for more than maybe 4 or 5 years. I'm talking of both the premenopausal and even the menopause. In all, everything shouldn't be more than maximum maybe 8 to 9 years, and it's supposed to be getting better. You understand? Gradually over the years. But I think that if you change your habits, your lifestyle generally, I realized that the best thing to do is to have a new lifestyle. Yes. If you change your lifestyle generally and you do all those things, you realize that it will not last for too long. You can really bounce back faster than people. I was quite unprepared. And I also, because of my nature, I was quite stubborn because even some of those things that I was supposed to start doing on time, I felt that how can you be telling me what to eat? How can you tell me how after these years of my life you cannot be telling me what to eat? But I realized that it's nonsense. It's not work. But the moment I started adjusting, within 2 to 3 years that I started adjusting, it changed. So you can control it.
Yes. Okay.
And then also, I need to tell you this if you're a Christian, because it worked for me. It got to a point, I developed a confession. Yes, I had to create a confession for my body. And I started speaking to my body and commanding my body to listen to the word of God. And it worked. It worked.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. There's another question here saying, oh, well, is it a comment? Thank you, Elizabeth Zayana. She says,
Okay.
It's nice meeting you virtually. I shared your message like I knew you.
Thank you.
And she said, nobody prepared me. I connected with the spiritual attack part.
I can imagine, sincerely. You would think you're under attack.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Thank you.
Then another thing that happens to some people, which
Yes.
have been documented, is that in case you start feeling as if you are seeing things that are not there.
Hallucination, yes.
Yes. The way I'm sitting down like this, and then it will look as if somebody passed. You get it, or something passed, and then you wonder, oh, did something pass? And then you didn't see anything. It happens. It's not a demon. There's no demon in your house. Yeah, you get it. You are not being possessed, and there's no spirit in your house. It happens like that, sometimes, and it's been documented because I had to go and read up after my sister spoke to me, and I sat down and then I read up on menopause. So it has been documented that we have some women that may happen to. So don't be scared. You understand? It will pass after a while.
Thank you. And Queen Kumbi says, which is your sister. Thank you, sister, for helping her out, for being the doctor in the house to her. Lifted up the burden.
Yeah, really. Let me celebrate my sister. My sister is just amazing.
She says it could take the remaining lifetime if the necessary changes are not made. And that is
Yes.
true.
Yes.
No matter how much you feel all these things and you just go
Yeah.
paracetamol and without doing all these exercises, water,
Yeah.
chia seed,
Oh,
and
yes.
many other things. And
It
like
could last a lifetime. Yeah.
said, there's so many
Yeah.
natural treatments that can be used. And or if you're not patient with the natural method, there's the medical treatment, the HRT. So I hope we've done justice to it tonight. Thank you very much, my queen.
Thank you.
Thank you. We have final words for our viewers. Final words before you go.
All right. I just want to encourage all the women out there that it is not sickness. It's not a bad thing. Aging is not a bad thing. You understand? It is okay not to feel like you used to feel many years ago, because that's part of what also affects us. You are not sick, you are not less, you have not been relegated. You should be proud of the fact that God has granted you long life. If you died many years before, you will not have menopause. So the fact that you are going through menopause simply shows that God has been faithful enough to you to have given you long life. So enjoy the ride. You understand? Just enjoy the ride. And you realize that over time, you are able to become an encouragement for other younger people that are coming up. I wish all of you well. And God will crown this year with his goodness for us in Jesus' name.
Amen. Amen. Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your evening. We'll let you go now. Thank you. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. Yes, we've all heard it. I'm not even sure if we should continue with the next set of questions because it's all been answered, But I don't mind. I can bring it up on the screen so that if people still have any questions. So we're supposed to do I said verse 9, verse 8, not verse. Number 8. Are there any natural medical treatments that help stabilize mood and reduce? We've said that in the last video. So if you've not watched it, go back to watch it. It's less than an hour. And also, what is the link between menopause, long terminal mental conditions like anxiety? We've just said it as well. Finally, what places? Okay, so this is the final question. Both of you can, over to you, Queen. I think it's Queen Tara who is on that, and then Queen Yinka can talk about it. What can workplaces or communities do to support women dealing with emotional and mental health challenges during menopause? Because I know that some workplaces don't take it, it's your problem, go and deal with it kind of a thing. But if it's there, done by the occupational therapists, and it comes through that, and everyone is being educated, I think it will go a long way to make even people who are not prepared for it, who have nobody to prepare them for it, to also learn about it. So over to you. I wouldn't put words in your mouth. Please tell us how.
You've said it. The support. It's support. Understanding the fact that there are people in the workplace that have these issues, and supporting them in the sense that understanding that they will have needs. I don't know how it works in the UK, for example, but here, if you tell your boss that you have menopause and you can't come to work, they're like, are you the first woman to go to work? And what is even menopause? And they'll think you're just lying. So also, that HR understands that women are going through some phase of in their life, and if you want to make sure that they give the best they can, then you must ensure that their health is very paramount. And also, even when it comes to simple things like the office environment, you'll find out that some people will say, oh, don't put on the AC, and the woman is sweating. She's under that pressure. So I think changes like that, the workplace should be able to understand that, look, if we want, to keep this,
Productivity.
we want to keep, their experience, then we must make the workplace a better environment for them. And also, we're also looking at not only the office itself, but other people, because you might say that the office is given a good environment, but then you can have jabs from your fellow worker, especially the men, and any small thing they'll say, oh, it's menopause, don't mind that, she's menopausal. And then it becomes sort of like an abuse, or sort of like a slur, so to speak. So education also comes to play for all the other people working with you, especially the men, so that they understand that you're not just trying to evade work, or you're not just being irritable for no just cause. And also that they're not making all sorts of remarks, nasty remarks about you, like they will say of a woman that she's in heat, they know all those nasty remarks. The safe place to work. Now for communities, it's still basically the same thing. you know, education and support in whatever way that the woman, you know, wants to be supported. So I think workplaces should actually find out, you know, what would make women more comfortable at work during this period. And they've done it before with crèches, for example. You know, some offices understood the fact that when you have young children, your mind is not at work, and so they brought crutches to the workplace. You know, so that the mother's mind is at rest. That, oh, our child is well taken care of, and so she'll be able to perform her job properly. So maybe we should look at that too for menopausal women, you know, and women in general. That, okay, you might be going through this at this time. What can the office do, you know, to make it a more comfortable atmosphere and environment for you? So it's support in whatever way the woman needs, and education from my side.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Queen Tara. You've said it all. Thank you. Thank you very much. Queen Yinka, do you have any addition to that?
Well, I think you said it all. The education, definitely. I mean, you were saying you don't know what we do in the UK. So a lot of organizations are educating their employees actually on the menopause, which is a good thing. So men are on managers are understanding, the male colleagues are understanding, the female one, both young and the older ones are understanding. Oh, okay, this is what this means. This is when this woman is saying, she has a third hand, she needs a fan. This is the reason why. And to also, it's just normalizing it so that you don't have that, like those kind of comments about, oh yeah, okay, yeah, it's that time of the month, that kind of thing. Yeah, this is why. And really getting people to understand that. So yes, absolutely. And the other thing that some workplaces have done is have what we call menopause champions. So there's someone there you can go and talk to who can signpost you to where you can get, help. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. We can call it a wrap. Thank you very much for your time, for all the education. I can't, even if they have to do this in the offices, it's not going to be as elaborate as this. So thank you very much from your experience, from, your skills, your expertise. I just can't thank you enough. So thank you very much. Thank you. The next one we are having, hey, everybody listen up. The next one we are having is going to be on nutrition. So you might want to, all the chia seeds that have been talked about, all this. So what are those foods? What is the nutrition for menopause? Foods that help and foods that to avoid. Of course, it depends on your body system. But yeah, that is what we're going to be talking about in Talk 5. And I hope you will be there. Please remind somebody. And apologies, the UK time has changed. So we're 1 hour behind. Yeah, 1 hour behind. And so please, I'll try to put it on the notice when I'm sending it out so that it's not so confusing. So thank you very much, Queen Tara, for your time. Thank you, Queen Yinka.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. I'll let you go now because you've been waiting since 7 o'clock. Oh, thank you very much. I'll let you go. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
You've heard it all. You've heard it all. You've heard it all. What are your questions? Thank you to that person who sent on Slido the anonymous question. So thank you for putting that question up. It's helped the interaction with our talk today. So I would like to thank you, those who are online. Thank you to Queen Kumbi. Thank you very much. Also to who else is there? Queen Kumbi, thank you for being there. Queen Elizabeth, Zayana, thank you also for being there, and all the others who were actually there, and Queen Kafilat, thank you very much for being there. So we've come to the end of today's topic, and we hope that you've learned from it. Thank you very much to our amazing Coach Tuski for helping us out with those personal experiences, very intimate personal experiences. You don't get to see it. So if you're looking for the post, it's everywhere. Just Google menopause somewhere and you'll see her story. It's gone viral. So thanks to her for making that available online. And this is where we say, have a good evening and bye-bye.
the light. Welcome to Dr. Bummy Able TV, where we inspire and inform you endlessly, with knowledge to guide, uplift, and grow. Thank you for joining, it's a journey, let's go. To all the new subscribers, welcome aboard. We're so glad you're here, there's so much in store. Returning friends, thank you once again. Together we'll learn and share the game. From wisdom to insight, each video's a gift, helping you rise, giving your spirit a lift. So hit that subscribe, stay tuned to see all the great things on Dr. Bummy Able TV. To all the new subscribers, welcome aboard. We're so glad you're here, there's so much in store. Returning friends, thank you once again. Together we'll learn and share the game. To all the new subscribers, welcome aboard. We're so glad you're here, there's so much in store. Returning friends, thank you once again. Together we'll learn and share the game. Dr. Bummy Able TV here for you. Inspire, educate, inform. That's what we do. Thanks for being part of this growing family. Let's keep shining together in unity. Subscribe to like. Welcome to Dr. Bummy Able TV.
Understand your wife better during those seasons of life and help you know what to do too. Let me share with you my menopause experience and journey. What happened to me, why they happened, and how to control them. As you read, you will understand the meaning of those pictures. Let me also say ahead that not every menopausal woman experiences all that happened to me. Some may not even have any of those symptoms except one or two. So it's not compulsory you have all of them. Menopause showed me I thought I will die. Let me explain. Firstly, what is menopause? Menopause is that natural part of biological aging that occurs in women between the ages of 45 and 55. Menopause is caused by the loss of ovarian follicular function and a decline in circulating blood estrogen levels. The menopausal transition can be gradual, usually beginning with changes in the menstrual cycle. This is when at that of 40 upwards your menstrual cycle begins to fluctuate. It's called premenopause. Mine started very early. By my 40th birthday I was already in full menopause. And the first set of signs I started having was this terrible fatigue, this weakness from inside as if there was no strength in me. Me a tutu that is normally full of energy. I can do 10 things together, who born them, you can't stop me. But suddenly to get up in the morning became an issue. I will be having this heat from inside. I naturally sweat, but this one will be like I was put in oven. During Harmattan, everyone is shivering. But I must put on the fan overnight. Below are all that I experienced within the first 5 to 6 years of menopause. 1. Severe hot flashes, heat from inside out. 2. Fainting spells. I will be preaching in church and my eyes will go dark. People will not know why I'm holding the altar. They will think it's anointing. 3. Severe headache from morning till night. I had this headache every day for 2 years. 4. Insomnia. I just wouldn't be able to sleep. 5. Sleep apnea. I'll just stop breathing while sleeping and so jerk up gasping for breath. 6. Loss of appetite and inability to decide what to eat. 7. Unexplainable weight gain, especially around the midriff. I wasn't eating, yet my tummy was getting bigger. 8. Forgetting things. In fact, I frustrated the children with this one, because I could even forget that I was holding the car keys. 9. Vertigo. I am lying down yet the whole room is spinning. 10. Severe, almost paralyzing weakness and tiredness. To get up in the morning was a big issue. Me, a tutu, was getting to church late. It is well. 11. Severe pains in all my joints, knees, ankles, wrists, shoulders, neck, waist, hips. That picture of my 2 knees was the one I took at a time, when suddenly one of my knees swelled up becoming twice the size of the other, and I couldn't leave the house for 4 days. 12. Vagina dryness. so I couldn't have sex without lubricant. In fact, there was a time I couldn't have sex at all. I just was not interested. 13. Intermittent moodiness and lethargy. Loss of interest in everything generally. 14. My beautiful nails just started getting weak and brittle, they were crumbling and breaking. But thank God, they are back now. That's them in that picture. Full, strong, and long again. The first 6 years was traumatic for me. I can't even explain how I was able to go through all that and still meet up with all my schedules and meetings and counseling and invitations. There were times, by the time I get home from my meetings and preaching engagement, I will be in so much pain, I wouldn't be able to get out of the car. There were times my knees will just lock up all by themselves, I wouldn't be able to bend them.